Alright, Pack, welcome back to another video here on the Dividend Doggo Show on YouTube, and I am bringing you in for a weekly portfolio review where we're going to cover the stocks in my portfolio. This is a taxable account in M1 Finance, and it's going to be a bridge account for early retirement or F.I.R.E. We're hoping to get this goal is right around somewhere around $80,000 a year in income that this portfolio will spin off to be able to transition us to an early retirement. We have a bit over a decade to work on this, and we're trying to make about as much progress as we can with this while working with our other assets, real estate, rental properties. So let's go ahead and dive in for the week and see how the portfolio is doing. You can see that we're still overall up about $187,000 total. 136 of that is gain, and $51,649 is earned dividend income, and that just rolled right back into the portfolio. So let's go ahead and see how the week was this week. It was a very interesting roller coaster of a week, but we did add money into the portfolio. I had sidelined a little bit of cash out of selling Ally about a week ago, and I went ahead and reinvested that into several stocks, primarily just one. Bet you can guess if you've watched the channel what it is, but let's go ahead and take a look. So finance was... it looks like it was kind of all over the place. The return, for some reason, reporting isn't working in M1 Finance this morning. Yay. So let's take a look at this. It was relatively flat, but a few of the stocks were up about 1%. So this should actually be a pretty positive gain, not $4, as you can see here. I'm wondering if that's just... Nope, it's just broken. Great. So yeah, you can see overall we're up several $100s in the finance category for the week. Nothing too crazy. Then we have the consumer pie. This is Altria, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Costco, Lowe's, Target, Pepsi. They were up just about $1,157, so $1,157 for the week. So they were in the green. Then we come down to Como Money. Como Money was just barely in the red. Berkshire Hathaway was down about 3%. I think they had earnings. I did not actually listen to it. I'm a bad investor. I did not actually listen to the earnings if they had it, but they were down about 3%. I'm not sure. That's not really all that much. Not a big concern for me. Overall, SCHD doing pretty solid there. And then we're going to dive into healthcare. ABBV had a pretty nasty week this week. I'm not sure if AbbVie's downtrend is going to continue, but it's buy territory for me. My cost basis is in the 70s, just at $80. So I'm very much still up in this. I'm really glad that I sold a bunch when I did, and am reinvesting that into other income producing assets. So that's pretty phenomenal. But the fact that it is down, I'm not, no one is a great person at timing the market. No one gets it right all the time, but taking the amount that I had invested into AbbVie out a couple months back was definitely the right choice for me. Definitely happy I did that at this point. So then we have utilities. VST had earnings. I did look over the earnings. It's a little confusing to me how they're coming up with, they're doing another $1 billion in share buybacks. They have a little bit left, like I think about 400 million or something like that to do for 2022, but then they're slated to do another like 1.2 or something like that in buybacks for next year. And they did raise the dividend again for the third time this year, which is incredible if I was just in it for the dividend. So I'm just going to hold on to my shares for a bit and ride this out. It was, as low as like $21 a share, and now it's back up into the $24 range, but it dropped $1 pretty much off of earnings. So the earnings call was not particularly stellar. So I'm not sure exactly how the new CEO is going to pan out with that. I think there's a little bit of a shift with the company. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely glad I pulled some money out of that while it was in the like $26, $27 range. If it does come back down into the 18, 19 range, I will definitely be looking at reinvesting some in that. And then BST for the week came out just squeaking in the green. Owner's rewards pie was up 4%. I think that, yeah, that's all, like almost all Amazon there, 4%. GameStop doing weird stuff, 17% for the week. Okay. QSR up 11%. I think they had earnings. Chewy up 14%. Uber up 30%. I'm not sure that's accurate. I would have to double check. Again, these are not stocks that I'm invested in for long haul stuff. This is just to get owner's rewards returns. And let's take a look here. Let's go back. Let's go into the activity. As you can see, we had some owner's rewards come in on the second, $87. That was just from spending on the credit card from the prior month. So that went right back into the portfolio. You can see we did 3 buys, 4 buys to 6 buys for the week. So let's go ahead and jump in and start looking at those buys. We had a bunch of dividends roll in, and let's look here. So we had JP Morgan's dividend come in, and I did reinvest that with the BST dividend, and I put $5,000 into SCHD in that first big buy. I love SCHD. It's just hands-off approach. The $87 from the owner's rewards pie, I put into BST. That picked up an extra, what is that? 2.34 shares, which is pretty phenomenal. Then on the last buy, I went ahead and just sunk the money into SCHD. I had about $20,000 from Ally that I put into SCHD. And then we had Lowe's pay its dividend, so I went ahead and picked up a full share. The dividend amount for Lowe's was like $40, I believe. Yeah, Lowe's $55.59. So I added about $140 or so to pick up a full share of Lowe's. But SCHD, I ended up totaling out buying. What was it? Somewhere around 260 shares, I believe, total. That was 270, just under 270 shares, or right at 270 shares total. So that is pretty phenomenal. If I go back and I look at, the total amount of shares that I have right now about 1,630. So that added a pretty solid amount of shares. I apologize for the dogs barking in the background, but it's a Saturday morning and they're out playing. So overall, that brings us to the next thing I want to talk about is the forward income for the portfolio here. So I'm going to bring you into Propeller. This is a tool from dividend.com. This just, you put your stocks in here and it tells you when the ex-dividend date is, what they're going to pay out, and gives you a little bit of a forward income and shows you your total current yield. Now, this isn't necessarily your yield on cost or anything like that. This is just what the portfolio is currently yielding at its current value. My next thing to pay out is Costco, so that I'm definitely going to drip. But let's see here. So overall, the portfolio is at a 3.84% yield right now, and we're still hovering right around $20,000 in forward income from dividends for the year. So we are still right at the about 25% mark of the goal for this portfolio. With the other income producing assets, and if the other project gets going, we might actually be close to right around the 50% mark for our goal of getting to $80,000 of passive income total. But I would like ideally to get this portfolio to that point. That way the real estate assets cover all their repairs and reinvesting into other projects and stuff like that, and then we can just be living off this so that we still have growth components and tax deduction components. from the real estate assets. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I'm hoping that a lot of the things that I will need to get the Airbnb project going, if it does get started the way that I'm hoping it will, that I will be able to use the owner's rewards cards over the course of like 2-3 months to get, 600 is the max over 3 months. It's like $200 a month you can get back from that for buying at the stores to get that set up. So setting up an Airbnb is a lot of work and a lot of initial investment costs. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the forward portfolio. It's pretty close to even spread out. As you can see, August is one of my lower months. Just has ABBV, Citigroup, BST, and Costco to go for the month. I say lower month. A lot of you watching would probably absolutely love to have a $1,400 month in dividend payments. But overall, I would ideally like to get this to triple or quadruple where it's currently at. So that would absolutely be fantastic. That is the goal, and this just kind of gives me a little visualization into the stocks. And like SCHD is going to earn next quarter, if the dividend stays at 59 cents, it will be right at $958 for that payment, which is absolutely amazing. We're almost to that $1,000 a quarter, which is a pretty phenomenal goal to get to for stock. I have one other stock right now that does pay that, which is Altria. That pays out $1,166 at its current payout. That's absolutely amazing, and I'm hoping to get a little bit further and up a little bit more in a few stocks. I don't know that I'll invest any more into Citigroup right now, but that is another one of those higher yielding ones. So overall, that is the portfolio. That is how we're doing for the week, and I hope that every single one of you is inspired by this, and I hope that it motivates you to continue to reinvest and compound those dividends to get to reach whatever your financial goals are, and you just continue your investing journey. I personally have found that investing in single stocks is rather stressful, and it takes a lot more time and research and energy, and I want to dedicate more of my time to fun things as I'm getting older. I'm in my 30s right now, going into my 40s, and the time that I've got left here, I want to make the best of it, and I want to have the most fun I can during that time. So I'm looking to go more into index funds and higher time to cash ratios. If I am spending a lot of time, I want to be earning a lot more cash for that. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope that every single one of you has a great weekend. Thank you for watching the video, and drop me a comment. Let me know if you bought anything this week. I appreciate every single one of you. We crossed over 3,000 subscribers. I wish it had 30,000. But we're over 3,000 now, and it's absolutely phenomenal to me to see the growth and to get to interact with y'all in this way. Finance has always been one of those things in America that's a very behind closed doors, hush hush thing. You don't talk about your salary, and you don't talk about your earned income, and you don't talk about your investments and what your plans are. So I love getting to share that with all of you here on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great weekend.